It's been a while since I've made a World War Z video. I keep messing it up every time I start it. But you know what? Whatever. Fuck it. I don't care. I'm doing it now. This is being put in the video. So I'm gonna start by saying, yeah, it has been a while, but there hasn't been too much new content for World War Z. I am waiting for the Aftermath to come out, and I just wanted to release a video to help people with their builds, but more like a video that's going to give you food for thought to enhance your thought process about your builds and increase your ability to make better decisions for what you may use. Now, I'm going to go over most of the classes, but the longest class that I'm probably going to go over in this video is going to be the Exterminator. I'm going to start with that one. And I might pick some examples from the classes. I might not be able to think of one in each of the classes. Write down in the comments if you want to, I don't know, discuss in the comments about some of the skills that maybe I didn't go over. But I'm going to start with the longest and most difficult one to explain is the Exterminator. So, Exterminator. We've got Cloak and Dagger versus Job Satisfaction. These two are argued about all the time, almost as much as people argue about the secret ingredient and versus Battle Surgeon. So, why do people argue about these two so much? Potential versus reality it clashes pretty hard here, especially between these two skills, and especially between the individual player using them. So I'm going to explain what these abilities do and the hidden things about the cooldowns and whatnot. So, Job Satisfaction. Kill 15 zombies in rapid succession, which is in 5 seconds. And you get a temporary health boost, which is worth maybe like 70% of your max HP. And it fully decays if you are not hit over time in 60 seconds. So you could take 35% of your health damage every 30 seconds safely. Potentially more or less if you don't get hit. But yeah, that's your shield. It's constant. It'll always be there. And it's pretty easy to achieve. And there's a 30-second cooldown. So, Cloak and Dagger, there is no cooldown, which is what makes it interesting. And you gotta kill 15 zombies in rapid succession, which is 5 seconds. Most of the time. Some classes, you get a lot longer than 5 seconds. Like, the Slasher's melee attacks, you get way more than 5 seconds to kill 10 zombies with melees. But yeah, you could indefinitely stay cloaked. That's the potential of this skill. The potential is that you can kill and never have the zombies ever fight you back. Ever. Pretty good, right? I'd love to be invincible. Wouldn't you guys? I would too. It sounds amazing on pencil and paper, but that's the point I'm going to be driving home a lot in this video, over and over and over, about several skills. The third hand is a perk that's very important to using Cloak and Dagger. The reason is, killing 15 zombies in rapid succession, which is 5 seconds, it instantly reloads your primary weapon. There's a problem with this, though. It doesn't say it here, but there was a patch. So there is a 5-second cooldown on the third hand skill. It is no longer permanently instantaneous. So keep this in mind about that 5-second cooldown, because it comes into play, and it's gonna make the reality of using this Cloak and Dagger a lot less attractive than going for this Job Satisfaction. You might wonder why, but that's what I'm explaining in this video. So, let me throw some numbers at you. So, an average player Depending on their class or how good or bad they are or aggressive, little factors. They'd get between 400 and if they're doing poorly and 700 kills in a singular 30-40 minute campaign run on insane or extreme. That sounds about right. Between 4 and 700 kills. That's the average Joe. You guys have seen it in my videos, especially when I do tactical approach to extreme mode. Those guys are not all Terminators that can get 50 headshots in one AK magazine without reloading. They're not like that. They're the average Joes that, just like you guys watching this video, they're average players. Maybe some of you guys are above average. And that's fucking great. And you're going to understand, too, what I'm talking about here with the numbers. So, let's put this cloak and dagger into action. So, generally speaking, you dump several magazines into a horde before they have a chance to get to you. You'd be shooting for, about 45 seconds, maybe a minute and a half, depending on if your team is covering the flanks and you're ignoring them. Which you would be with this cloak and dagger skill, because zombies are supposed to ignore you, right? Let's add a 0 onto that. So, let's say you want to be shooting for a minute straight. So, that'd be 60 seconds. You would have to kill... oh, shit, I'm sorry. 300 zombies in 1 minute. 300 zombies. Now let's say you wanted to do it again on the second swarm, because maps have multiple swarms. They have 2 or 3 swarms. Most maps do. 2 or 3 swarm phases. Some less than others, but that's about the right amount. So, if you're doing this 3 times in a match, that's 3 minutes. You would have to kill 900 zombies over the course of 3 minutes. And this is 3 separate times you pull this off during a game, right? That's a lot of fucking zombies! That's as many zombies as all 3 of your teammates combined. And let's zoom in into the reality of which kind of weapons you're going to be using. First thing that's probably apparent is you can't start with the most amazing, crazy weapons on the Exterminator. You start with either a tier 1 shotgun, that's pretty decent, but you're not going to kill 300 zombies in 1 minute with this shotgun unless you're cheating. It's not happening. And then the AK, unless you're a Terminator and every bullet you're firing is a fucking headshot, you're not killing 300 zombies in 1 minute with an AK. I'm sorry. Even I can't do it, and I consider myself to be a decent player that understands the game well enough to play on extreme, and I can't do that with an AK. I can try. So that means your weapons that you find is left down to randomness. So if you run into the first or second or third hordes, the first horde in a game, usually you don't have the ability to find a tier 3 weapon. You'd have to get lucky and get an ACW, which is one of the only tier 3 weapons that can spawn way earlier than it's supposed to. The ACW and the sniper rifle and the crossbow, all 3 of those guns can spawn at the very beginning of the map, where tier 1 weapons would normally spawn. So that's an abnormal spawn that you would need for a lot of maps to have the firepower you need to maintain a vehement, beastly kill rate like that. 300 zombies in 1 minute. A rocket launcher shot kills only about 90 zombies in a single shot. That means you'd be firing, what, 3 rocket launcher shots every minute? Killing at that kind of pace? Every 60 seconds? That's fucking crazy! That's an insane pace! Holy shit! Now, this is where the third hand skill comes into play. You have to memorize and time it every 5 seconds in your head. You have to be careful not to shoot and kill too fast, otherwise you will accidentally reload, which may open you up to zombies attacking you, because they will attack you immediately the second that masking goes out. Now it might flutter and flicker and you might have 1 or 2 seconds, but that reload is what really takes the wind out of your sails. So you have to constantly time your fire rate just right with each weapon, slow down or speed up at certain moments, so that way you never actually reload. You're always timing that 5-second cooldown over and over and over with third hand. You also have to position yourself knowledgeably for where the hordes are coming from, because if you have to reposition, you're not killing, therefore you're not masking. So you need to constantly know where the horde is going to come from and put yourself in the most advantageous position possible to be able to maintain that killing rate and to be able to maintain the sweet spot of being able to get those multi-shots, the multi-kills, and killing the most beefy chunk of zombies to keep that masking going every 3 seconds to get it refreshed over and over and over. That's a lot to be doing. Your average Joe isn't thinking about that type of shit when they're shooting at zombies. They just look at the zombie and where's the biggest pile and let me shoot him. And if there's something hitting me, let me take care of that first. That's the average Joe's thinking, which isn't wrong, that's not flawed, that's not errored. That's perfectly fine. Matter of fact, I encourage that. If there's something whacking your ass, get it off of you, alright? Or if there's something killing your teammate, get it off of them. But this is a lot to manage using Cloak and Dagger and Third Hand and killing almost the entire match total, or once you finish the game, multiple times the number of zombies of all of your teammates combined. That's a lot of responsibility for an average Joe. And you might be a Terminator out there and you might be like, well, this is way better because I can do this. And that's good. You've met your skills within the game meet what is needed, and your knowledge, your game knowledge, and your weapon choice too. If you choose to use a tier 3 assault shotgun, but it's on a map like Moscow, or I'm sorry, it's on a map like Tokyo, where the hordes are always really, really far away. Well, not always, but most of the time. If the hordes are really, really far away, and you're sniping from great distances, your weapon choice is not effective there to be able to maintain this kill rate. But somebody else who, I don't know, takes an ACW into New York 1, you're going to be knocking them down. So there is randomness at play. There's a lot of game knowledge at play. There's a lot of timing your reloads and timing your kills and knowing exactly how much firepower you need and how long it takes you to get those 15 kills. Because if you're thinking, alright, I've got the... what's a good weapon? Shit. If I've got the classic battle rifle, this is a good gun. You think, alright, I need at least 18 bullets in the mag to get my masking to trigger. But I've only got 10. Do I reload? Do I throw a Molotov to give me time to reload because I've messed it up? There's a lot of micromanagement and decision-making that happens when you're trying to maintain such a crazy pace of kills. And again, as I said many times, the average Joe just doesn't do it like that often. Now, let's flip it to the other skill, job satisfaction. You only need to kill 15 zombies in 1 minute. Now, you could do this, in 5 seconds. And you've got a full 1 minute of shielding to do it again, with a cooldown that's only 30 seconds. The amount of pressure of using this skill versus using this one is an astronomical difference. This is far easier to use than this, but this is potentially way more powerful when you combine it with this. Potentially. If you can't maintain this kill rate and you can't use all of this game knowledge, weapon choice, abilities, and statistics efficiently and effectively, then just take a load off, man. Pick job satisfaction. Yes, zombies will come after you, but the thing is, if with Cloak and Dagger, the zombies that would have been coming after you are gonna go and kill your friends. So you have to lean even harder into making up for the loss of firepower or the aggro that you've transferred to your allies, because you're not protecting your allies. With this skill, yeah, zombies might come after you, but you're shielded. So you'll take damage on your shield, but it's also a lot more forgiving, because let's say when you're between hordes, you've got, your buddy accidentally shot a explosive barrel and you triggered a zombie horde, so you all run back to a corner and hunker down or something to wait the horde out because you accidentally triggered them. During a stealth phase or something like that. This skill, if you manage to pull it off, in that situation, you've got a full minute of protection, and that's a really huge reward that happens between hordes. Not just during the swarm phases, but during the more mundane phases. If you manage to throw a Molotov in a doorway or something, and a bunch of zombies run through that doorway, you could trigger this skill. But if you trigger Cloak and Dagger at that time, it's probably not going to last long enough to actually do anything. And which one are you going to go for? Killing 100 or 50 zombies in 30 seconds, or 300 zombies in a minute? Or do you think that more people would be able to kill just 15 zombies? Throw a Molotov, you're protected for a full minute. Shoot a rocket, you're protected for a full minute. Use any heavy weapon that's explosive on a stack of zombies. And you got a full minute of protection. And it's a lot easier. And it makes more sense when you start to think about the number of kills that I was mentioning before. Remember, thinking back, you might not be the only Exterminator on the team, or the only person that plays Exterminator. And some of your average Joe friends might be playing Exterminator. Do you think that a guy who only gets 400 kills in a match in a 30-minute mission would be able to maintain killing 300 zombies every 1 minute? No, they wouldn't. And they won't. They can't. That's not realistic. So, something that's a lot easier and more achievable, where they could just use a piece of equipment, or shoot a heavy weapon shot or two, a payload rifle bullet or two, or a rocket. They can do it. That's much easier. So, potential versus reality. I know that was a lot of talking, but I said the longest one was going to be the Exterminator first. So, Gunslinger. This one's pretty simple. Frontline supply. Headshots. You get 5% of your magazine back, and it's rounded... It's rounded upwards with bullets. So some guns might get 2 bullets, like the AK or the Tier 3 assault rifle or advanced SMG. Those guns might get 2 or 3, depending on how well it rounds up. So, the potential is that you can go through a whole entire mission, 40 minutes on extreme, and never reload, not once. But you know us. We all reload. Frontline supply is a very good skill. It's super easy to get headshots randomly, even by accident, with a shotgun. But, again, that assumes that you even find a shotgun in the first place. Now, you can start with the S890 Shorty shotgun, which is cool. But that's a secondary. We're talking about primaries here. But does every gunslinger always get a shotgun every game? They might have the choice at some point in time, but it's not always their best choice. If you've got a short barrel or a tier 2 shotgun and a sporting carbine laying next to each other, and you know that it's a map that has really long distance hordes, like some of the Moscow maps, you're going to go for the sporting carbine. Because the hordes are really far away. Yes, they eventually get close, but you need to inflict damage now. So taking a skill like swapping mags can be better if you're not the type of player that gets headshots. At the end of matches, for you gunslingers out there, I want you guys to look and pay attention to exactly how many headshots are you actually getting every game. If you're only getting maybe 40 or 50 headshots out of 500 or 600 kills, is it worth it? Do you think that maybe you might be able to take advantage of swapping mags more often? Or maybe you might be able to take more advantage of adrenaline. Because adrenaline, it works on the first reload. It's not dump a mag and then the next reload speeds you up. No, the first mag, as soon as you start the reload, will speed you up. Swapping mags might be, I don't know, something if you just reload way too early, if you've got like shotguns or something, but in which case, frontline supply is better for the shotguns, because it's super easy to get headshots by accident. But really think about your weapon choices that you pick up. If you're always constantly picking up automatic weapons, and you're not getting a lot of headshots, it genuinely might be way better for you to take adrenaline. Pay attention that your stats at the end of the match tells you how many headshots you get. And if you're genuinely not getting a lot of headshots, switch it off. Try a different skill and watch your performance increase. Am I saying that frontline supply is a bad skill? I'm in no way saying that it is a bad skill. I'm saying it is a wonderful skill. Matter of fact, I am saying that this skill has the most potential out of all 3 of these skills. Because you could potentially go through an entire map and never reload. But the reality is that most players, especially the ones that spray and pray, do not get a lot of headshots. They get a lot of body shot kills. And if you're dumping mags like that on an automatic weapon, try adrenaline. It might serve you really well to erase some of that downtime. You might erase more downtime of shooting by having a faster reload if you don't get more headshots. Because if you're not getting a lot of headshots and your reloading could have been 50% faster, that's several more magazines of shots you could have got out. And that's, 100 or maybe 150 more kills that you could have gotten, numerically speaking, from your performance. So, yeah, try adrenaline. Give it a try if you notice that you're not getting at least, 15 or 20% of your kills are headshots as a gunslinger. What's another skill? Gunslinger have anything else? Oh yeah, Pocket Factory versus Headhunter. Same thing here. You could put this one. There's no time limit. You see, kill 5 zombies consecutively with headshots. But again, zooming back into reality, if you've got a high-powered weapon like the Tier 3 battle rifle, you fire a single bullet. Yes, you'll headshot one zombie, but it's going to go through him and kill the zombie behind him, which ruins your consecutive headshot reward. So, if you're noticing you're not getting those headshots as needed, and you're not really getting the headshots as often as you must, then try Pocket Factory. You know? You might get your grenades back more consistently because you're spraying and praying all the time with automatics. And that's just a thing that you like to do. And the Gunslinger is able to accommodate that. That's not bad. That's a play style and a play choice. Spraying. If you can get 50 bullets down range in the time that it takes me to take one well-placed shot, you're the one who's doing the damage. Alright? Whew. Sorry. Yawn. Medic. Okay, medic. We'll give one for the medic here. Free hugs, pickpocket, and I'll take that. Now, pickpocket, and I'll take that. The medic is not known for having the most firepower in the game anymore because the lobotomy skill was fixed. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on every single weapon anymore. Even though it always said SMGs only, it worked on every weapon, which made the medic retarded. Super fucking overpowered. But let's look at why I have free hugs here. The reason why I have free hugs is because of, again, potential versus reality. The potential is that you could kill a special infected every 30 seconds. You could kill shitloads of zombies and get back a stim every 20 seconds. Here's the problem with that. The medic doesn't really start with any kind of overpowering or overbearing weapons that are able to kill 15 zombies in rapid succession very easily without getting a shitload of headshots. You could maybe squeak it out if you're an average player with the TMP5 SMG, but it's unlikely. You need to find a weapon that has more firepower. Something like a tier 2 shotgun, a tier 2 sporting carbine. Hell, even the tier 1 shotgun, you'd be able to squeak out 15 kills in rapid succession on zombies. Here's the problem, though, with that. The medic doesn't have a lot of firepower, as I just said. But the thing is, if you're so polarized and so focused on trying to get that stim back 3 times every minute, ignoring the fact that it takes a little while to actually get the kills, and we're not getting the kills off cooldown optimally anyways, nobody does, you're not really focused on your allies. You're not really keeping your team alive. This is assuming that we're working together here as a team, so the medic is playing for the team, not for themselves. That's a whole different story. If the medic's playing for themselves, 100% go for the kills, whatever. That's you. That's your play choice and style. But we're just assuming there's team efforts here. You'd be so focused and hard-pressed trying to get kills with a class that doesn't even really have a whole lot of firepower in the first place. I mean, I've got Fighting Fit, where I deal more damage if my team is healthy, but that doesn't help a compact SMG very much, nor does it help the Tier 2 SMG very much. You would miss a lot of opportunities to stim your allies preemptively before they take damage. or even just react fast enough to somebody getting tackled by a bull, or if they're going to get windmilled by zombies. Your positioning is also significantly more aggressive too. If you're trying to kill zombies and get kills on the swarm, you're probably not positioned behind or at the center of all of your allies where you have a good field of view of your allies. You're probably positioned at the front with a shotgun or something like that, trying to get kills. That's what you're doing. Your attention wouldn't be on your allies. So that's part of the reality of taking this skill. Well, Troy, what about the other one? I kill special infected all the time. Yes, you do. But due to the nature of your medic class, the fact that you don't have an equipment skill that you can use, that inherently makes it what's the word here? Other classes inherently have a natural advantage to killing special infected over you. So when a bull comes and you're shooting at the bull from the front with your tier 2 sniper rifle or your freaking sporting carbine or whatever you got, an exterminator is going to come along, throw a Molotov directly on it and kill it. Or a slasher is going to come along, taser him, whack him in the back, and he's done. You have to take down special infected the regular way, I guess. You don't have super-powered melee attacks to instantly kill an infector like a slasher does. And you don't have C4 like the Hellraiser does to take out a bull instantly. A C4 and thumper combination. You don't have those things. So your kills will be getting stolen very frequently. It's a lot easier for other classes to kill the specials. And again, if you're so focused so hard on trying to get the special infected kill, you're not really focused on your allies. And it takes a lot of divided attention to kill both zombies and also be there for your allies when they need you most. That's difficult. That takes a lot of attention that most people don't have. And you guys have seen me play medic in my videos. Some people say that, wow, I make it look so fucking easy, but then they go to play it, and it's like, holy shit, people are getting downed before I even know they've taken damage. But Troy, you always seem to stim them before they ever even get hit in the first place. How come? Because it takes a lot of attention. So that's a reality between picking these other two skills versus taking free hugs. Another reason why I take free hugs is because damage happens in violent bursts. It doesn't happen slowly on a schedule. Like you can have one guy get caught in a bag of gas. You stim him. He gets tackled by a bull while he's in the bag's gas. So you stim him again, and then he's running away and he's getting slapped by zombies so as to do a melee attack to push the zombies out of the way. All the while, he's taking damage from the gas bag over and over and over. So you have to stim the same guy like 3 times to stop him from instantly fucking dying and protect him with the shields and your painkiller. That does happen sometimes. It doesn't happen all the time, but that's an example of a violent burst of damage. And free hugs, you can use it in rapid succession frequently. And you pick up another bag of equipment and do it again. You can do it in Horde this way. You can do it in campaign this way if your allies are leaving equipment bags for you. Which we always are. We work together as a team. That's how we do. And I'm rewarded for that with Fighting Fit, keeping my allies' health high, but we're just focused on these few skills of potential versus. I guess that's a part of the reality. Why not? I could explain that, I'm healing my allies with Battle Surgeon, and that's allowing me to get the damage to be able to get the kills. You could make that argument, and that is a valid point, and that is a build, and that is possible. Because I've done it. I've selected that skill before with that character, and I've run that build with the medic. I even run combat medics so other people could pick up med kits and I don't have to worry about it. Keeping my allies healed up makes it easier for me to get the kills. And I'm using that same mentality right here with the med kit, just not with the stims. Because that's a personal play choice and style. But yeah, there is a clash of potential and reality. The potential is infinite stims. The reality is divided attention. That's what it is with the medic. The reality is divided attention. No matter how good you are, the fact that you are paying attention to the special affected means that it's divided. You are incentivized to kill him. Therefore, you will attempt to do so. Makes sense? We agree. Is there any other classes that I can pick out here? Slasher? I mean, I think I already talked about it in the video with the Slasher. The Slasher doesn't have a cooldown on his Lone Shark. Versus having a cooldown on Pickpocket, but I mean that's pretty obvious. Guaranteed getting equipment back, use it on a swarm of zombies, taser them, shoot them down, get it back. So you're either tasering swarms or tasering specials. So, I mean, that's more of a choice. That's not potential versus reality. And then the Drone Master is all about how you want the drone to behave. I think I've covered it all. I hope that this prepares people for Aftermath and thinking for themselves when the new build comes out before I release a video about the new class and weapons and all of that stuff. I really hope that this video finds the people that needs it. I know it's been a long time before I've released anything, but you know, I've just been waiting. And thank you everybody for listening to me talk about the skills. And I really hope that you guys keep the actual reality of what you do with the skills and whether or not you're actually getting value from them. And end up playing as a result after watching this video. And if not, I hope that maybe it reinforced something you already knew. So thank you guys and goodbye.